What's up guys, Jivan back with another video. So I've been teasing the high ping videos for some time now and we're finally going to get them started. Today we're going to be doing how to win on high ping. This is going to be just like my how to win arena games series, except we're going to be playing on high ping. Basically in this video I'm just going to be breaking down fights, talking about why I rotate and how I rotate, and basically just how all around I got dubs. If you guys want to see a how to fight on high ping or like how to W key on high ping video, let me know in the comments. Lastly, don't forget to use code JivanTV in the item shop, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Now let's get into this video. So basically what I did is I tried to get a dub on every single server. I started out with NA West on 60 ping and moved my way up. I got through almost every server, just not Middle East or Oceania. I couldn't find any games on Oceania, and Middle East I tried so many times, but 230 ping is tough to play on. But let's start out with this West game. I'm on 60 ping and I gotta win first try. So I was able to kill this player just by taking his wall. He was trapped in that corner, so it was a pretty free kill. Right away, this player pushes up, and I messed up here. I missed my shot. I could have ended the fight right there, but I had to back up. At this point, I don't really have any heals, so I'm just trying to bait a shot. This player thinks I'm healing, but in actual reality, I'm just holding an angle on this loot. So once they go for that loot, free kill for me. When you get that weak, you gotta be sure that you're taking really safe peeks. As you can see, the zone is pulling all the way across the map. When it pulls super far in one direction, it usually pulls even further in that direction for the next zone. So I like to rotate super early and try to get all the way on the side where the zone is pulling. In this case, Steamy Stacks. However, I saw a player farming over here and I have time before the zone is pulling, so I decided to go for the kill. One thing I try to do a lot on high ping is go for pre-fires. I don't usually try to take walls because, you know, on higher ping you're not going to get the walls very often. So I try to do a lot of baiting of pre-fires, pickaxing their wall once, pulling out my shotgun, going for the pre-fires. Keep in mind this was my first game on high ping. I definitely warm up on the high ping a little bit later. But I'm keeping the pressure on this guy, making him feel a little bit scared, and eventually, well, he kind of just gives up. I didn't realize I was cracked enough on high ping to get players to quit, but I guess I am. So, as I predicted, the zone did pull even further in this direction towards Steamy, so I'm just working my way towards zone, trying to get to the center of the second zone. That's a good spot to be because it's hard to predict the third zone. Usually if I'm in the center of the second zone, I'm pretty close to the center of the third zone as well. However, this zone pulled all the way northeast to Steamy Stacks, so I just get over there and then I'm actually looking for a fight. There's only 10 players in the lobby and I know most of them are going to be on the other side of the map because they haven't had enough time to rotate all the way over here yet. So I beam this guy out of the car and just go for the kill. As you can see, I phase a ramp into his box. However, he goes out the backside, so I wasn't able to pre-box him. And then he starts going up, and so I'm just doing a lot of protected retakes to try to get to his lair and piece him up. Eventually, I get the cone over top of him and the walls around him right here, and I know he's gonna flip that ramp, so I get ready to shoot. From there on out, I had full piece control and just finished that fight. Then I move around and I start looking for another fight. If you only want to go for the win at this point in the game, just box up. But just be ready, because if somebody pushes you, they're most likely not going to stop pushing you. So you need to fight confidently if you get pushed. Anyways, I'm able to get this kill easily with a wall take. I'm surprised I can still take walls so easily on 60 ping. Once you get up to over 100, it's almost impossible. At this point, there's only 3 other players, so I'm just playing for the win, because that's how I'm going to get the most arena points. Simply making my way to zone here, getting in good positioning will help me secure the dub. Once I get in, I'm in a really good spot, and I can just start looking around to get some picks. If you can get ahead of the zone, then you can try to jump people when they're rotating by you. For example, I tried to jump this guy, I got some good damage dealt, but I wasn't able to finish the kill, so I just got in position for the next zone so that I could be in the best position to jump him again. I get the big crack on him, and then eventually I just get ahead and they're just fighting on high ground. At this point, it's pretty much a free win. I get the kill on the dude that's just dropping down from the top of the stacks, get a crack on the other guy, and then he's boxed up right here, zone's pushing in his back. I know he has to go forward, so I box his front and get ready for him to come out. Eventually he does, and like I said, free win. Let's go. So now let's move on to the EU server. EU is notorious for being the hardest server to play on, and let me tell you, it is really sweaty. I played really safe to get this dub, so we're going to spend less time on this game, but for reference, I'm playing on 90 ping, and I got the dub in 2 tries. However, it's only a 5 kill dub, but I think this will be helpful for some of you that like to play more safe. And then after this, we'll move on to Brazil, where I played on 130-ish ping and got a decently high kill win. So I got my spot uncontested here, but I got no shields. My loot was completely shambles, so I was rotating this way and ran into somebody. I knew that I could get max shield at Slurpees, so I got this car and just dipped on out of there. I was able to get max shield with these big old barrels, and then I just looted up a little bit because my loot was still really shambles. I knew there were people fighting on the other side of Slurpee, so I knew I had some time to loot on this side. And so I knew the people fighting at Slurpee were probably going to be pretty sweaty and really healthy because they can just use barrels to get max shield. So I decided to dip out of there because I was at a disadvantage, 90 ping. I said, let's find new positioning. Zone pulled up this way, so this was a great spot to be, and I sensed that somebody was camping in here. If I ever have a feeling about somebody camping, I'm usually right, and I was right in this situation. So here we go. You knew you were going to see it at some point in this video. Look at this. I wouldn't recommend just swinging at somebody's wall over and over again until you get it, but this player was so scared that they were just standing there holding it, and if they're just going to hold it and not do anything, you can just keep trying and eventually you'll get it. After I got the wall, I knew they were going to go for a ramp edit, so I just waited for that to happen, tried to bait it, and got the kill. After that, I was in a great place in zone, and as you see, zone pulled right to me, and I'm kitted, ready to win this game. So at this point, I only have 1 kill, and for the video, I was thinking, oh, I should probably get more kills, so I pick a fight here. I got a big jump on this guy and got him really weak, and so I figured I could end the fight fast. Somehow, this dude pops so many heals so fast and almost kills me. I go for the stink plays because I assume he's weak and maybe I can get the kill with that. I don't, and so I just get to a safe place, I start healing up, and I just decide to disengage from this fight and try again later, once I get all my white health back. So instead of hopping back in the fight, I just get in good positioning. If somebody comes nearby me, I'll fight them. If not, I'll just be in a good spot to win the game because that was the overall goal. So I'm in a good spot to win, and then check this out. I knew that he was pushing me and I knew he was a psycho, so I just let him psycho me. I predicted exactly where he was gonna jump and got the big bop on him. So let's go, that's 2 kills on the board, now we win the game. I pulled zone here, so I'm just trying to get a read on what's going on around me. I'm trying to see where all the other players are. That way I know how to rotate the next zone, etc, etc. Just like that, we got 3 kills on the board just because I got good positioning. But then the zone pulls all the way across. There's only 3 other players, and in a game like this, it's all spraying and spraying. So I gotta play this rotate really smart. I know there's that player in the brick over there, and he is going to kill me if I come that way and he sees me. I also know there's a player on my left. So if I can wait for the player on my left to rotate, that high ground player will start spraying at him, and that'll give me a free rotate behind the high ground player. As soon as I heard the high ground player shooting, I sneaked behind him. It worked out perfectly. Once I'm able to get on the front side of the high ground player, I'm ahead of the whole entire lobby. That way, I'm just able to spray back at the rest of them. From there, it's a free dub. It's stuff like that, simple rotational tricks, getting ahead of everybody else and holding them on the backside. You can get a free win almost every single time doing that. At this point, the players are kind of aggressing my high ground, so I just try to alpha them off of that. That way I can get them all to fight on low ground and catch the dub. If I wanted to play this super safe, I should just stay on high ground until they start fighting and then third party them. But I wanted to at least get 5 kills this game for the video, so I drop down, get this kill, and then it's just a 1v1. Boom, dub number 2. So I got a win on NA West first try, a win on EU in 2 tries, and now next up we got Brazil. If I remember correctly, Brazil took 2 tries. The first try, I got like 3rd or 4th place because everybody was spraying at me on back edge of zone, but I'm pretty sure we got the dub on the 2nd try. I streamed it live on Twitch and I know some of you were there, so if I'm wrong and it wasn't 2 tries, let me know in the comments, I forget. Anyways, I landed at Steamy because I said, let's get a higher kill game here. This first kid gave me a perfect right hand peek on him, and I just went in with the AR because ARs are kind of clutch on high ping. The issue on high ping is if you switch from your shotgun to your AR, there's kind of a bit of a delay. So you got to plan out your attacks a little bit more, and if you do shoot your shotgun shot, you got to make sure you hit it. Here I was trying to bait the shot, and sure enough, I missed it. RIP, I played it perfectly, just didn't hit my shot. I do a lot of baiting when I'm fighting on high ping. As you can see, I'm trying to bait this person into my peek, and I try to predict my opponents a lot. For example, here I pretended to pop a big, and I predict they were going to try to pickaxe my wall, got a free shot on them. I see that they're cycling forward, so I set up this pre-box ahead of them. When I'm pre-boxing on high ping, I go for the wall and then the cone really fast. It's going to be hard to get the entire box built before they get there, so I just go for the wall and cone, and then I try to take my shot. So at this point in the fight, this player's just camping behind this door, and there's nothing I can do to really end the fight here safely, so I just decide to disengage because they're not doing nothing. So I'm popping bandages over here, and then they push up. I end up just using the sledge to take some peek shots, and I finish the fight in like 2 seconds. So after that, I just get on rotating, and somebody's actually right here at Orchard. They started trying to tag me up, so I'm trying to tag them up, and then I'm just fighting for high ground. As you can see, they're a little bit ahead of me high ground wise, so I start shooting them out, and then I go for it. They end up getting to high ground first because I fell a little bit here. So listen up, when I'm playing on high ping in a build fight, a few things that help me are 1, focusing most of my energy on tracking the opponent. 2, I try to really block my angles. When I'm building up to them, the first builds I place are builds to block the enemy's point of view of me. You gotta make sure they can't be getting free shots on you. 3, I go for a lot of breakout plays because it's gonna be hard to catch up to them on high ping if they're just cranking to the moon. And last thing that helps me out when fighting on high ping is playing really flicky with my builds. It's kinda hard to explain, but as soon as I see a build place, I flick my mouse into the position of the next build I wanna place. Obviously the builds place a little slower, so as soon as I see one build place, I flick my mouse into the next spot for the next build I want to place. I'll have a more in-depth tutorial coming out for this soon, but that's kind of the general idea. It's kind of hard to explain. Anyways, after that fight I rotated into Orchard and got pushed by another person, but I'm ready for it. I'm so kidded. People say piece control isn't possible on high ping? Yeah, right, bro. I took that fight just like I would on 0 ping, honestly. Let me slow it down so you can see how I outplayed him. So at first I go for the peek from below, but they go off to the side. I see them moving to my right, and so I track them that way and try to pre-box them out that side. Once I get them boxed here, I know they're going to edit the ramp, so I get ready to pre-fire. While I was pre-firing, I was moving out of the box so I could reset this wall and get that last peek shot. After that fight, I just move on to zone and I try to start getting kitted. Eventually I get over here to risky, I see people fighting, and I'm like, maybe I can third party. So in this fight, I'm trying to go for a lot of peek shots that don't require fast editing. I play in my box and try to wait for them to expose themselves in places where I don't need to run an edit course or set up a peek shot because I know they'll be able to pre-fire me and counter it. The most important thing is I'm branching out a lot and trying to stay safe in my builds while predicting their movement and getting angles on them. Eventually I realized this fight wasn't going anywhere and there were a lot of other players around, so I decided to just dip out and get a better position, just like I did on the EU server. Positioning can win you games so easily. I see this dude rolling up, he's trying to get over top of me, so I alpha him off high ground, but eventually he goes for it again and I just say, you know what, you can have it. So I outplay probably the sweatiest person in the lobby by getting the jump on them when they least expect it. I just hold angles in here and when they push up to my wall, I immediately jump them. Honestly, I just play the element of surprise in these fights. I do it again to this next person. After I got that jump on them, I'm just applying pressure, but eventually the kill gets stolen, and I'm getting pressured back, so I just disengage back into my huge base. But then, I go for another surprise attack. At this point, I've taken out pretty much the entire lobby, and it's just me and one other person. They know I'm in this base, but I sneak out the back. I have a spicy fish, so I know I can get around this mountain all the way into zone when they're not looking, and then just hold them, and it's a free dub. But, you know, I got this person weak, and I said, holding them is kind of a boring way to win the game, so let's make things a little more interesting and go and build fight this player. So that's what I did. Now pay attention to how I'm build fighting. I'm sure a lot of you struggle to build on high ping, it's really tough to do, but I've done a lot of 1v1s on high ping and I've actually gotten it down pretty good. The most important thing in build fights is that you don't fall, so I make sure to put a lot of my attention into catching myself, that way I don't just slip through my builds, lag through, and fall to my death. I also go for a lot of safe peeks. You know, I'm not going to try to edit course them because that's not going to go well on high ping. But yeah, in these build fights, just pay attention to my playstyle, see if you can learn anything from it. But I end up getting the kill here, catching that dub, and now we move on to the last game, Asia servers. The queue time was ridiculously long, but I finally found a game, and I actually took a lot of fights here, surprisingly. You probably would have thought 150 ping, you're not taking any fights. Wrong. So here, I'm trying to bait him to edit on me, but he's not budging. And this dude was a psycho. As soon as I go for the wall, he just walks on through straight in my face. Like, what kind of play is that, bro? So then this player's just psychoing me. I'm trying to get some heals off. Eventually I'm able to get all my heals off, and then I just clean up the fight. I figured he might go for the same play, so I'm keeping pressure on with my guns out. And then yeah, I'm just able to clean this up pretty easily here. I just had to hit my shots. Once I got that kill, I basically get pushed right away again. I'm ready for it. So this dude's peeking heavy from up top, so I just get a little peek shot on him and crack him, and at that point I'm just trying to get up to his level, trying to prevent him from healing, and I set up a really nice peek with this edit. Easy cleanup, and then I move in a little more to zone and immediately find more players to fight. This fight went on forever. There were so many people here. I was trying to play safe but also aggressive. So in this fight, just pay attention to the different peeks I take, the way I keep pressure on them, and I also place a lot of ramps in people's boxes, just trying to apply pressure in whatever way I can. Eventually somebody gets cracked and I'm just applying pressure like crazy. I'll let you guys watch this out. So once I get that first kill, I notice one other player is just kind of playing scared over here, so I start applying some pressure. I know I'm not going to be able to get their wall, so I try to think of a plan that I can outplay them with. I just apply a lot of pressure, and then eventually I just disengage back to these old builds and try to make it look like I'm completely leaving the fight. And then I just hold an angle, and once he comes out, I get a health advantage and push. Once I get that health advantage, I'm just trying to get in their box as fast as possible before they can get heals off. That way I can take a 50-50 with a really good chance of winning, because I got really good guns right now. Eventually, they get me pieced up here, and I basically just let them because I'm just going to pre-fire them when they edit. Sure enough, they do. I get the kill. GG's, on to the next one. Somebody pushed up right away, and I just build fought them basically, and eventually I get in their box when they least expect it. But they have a ramp over top of me, right here. And when I'm in a situation like this, I just know I need to hit my shots and I'll win the fight. And that's exactly what I do. So now we're going to skip ahead to late game. I was in a good spot here in zone, so I'm just applying pressure to people around the map, trying to make them weaker so that I have a better chance to win. I decide to rotate this zone all the way on the left side of the map. There were a few other players here, but once they rotate in, I can just follow up behind them. None of them are really moving at this point, so I just wait until they actually do start moving so that I can follow them. If you try to run past them in this zone, they're just going to spray at you, you're going to get lobby focused, you're going to die. So eventually I see one tunneling ahead in a really strange way. I'm like, okay, this might be a free kill, so I go for a beam from behind them. It wasn't free, so I just ended up rotating down to the water, getting into zone, and then basing up, getting ready for the late game. I get high-key fried once I get into zone here, so I just branch out, get a big base, and then just sit in a cone and heal up. And then we are at the moving zones. I played this so perfectly. I noticed that the right side of the map was a little bit dead, so I marked the right side of the next zone, but I end up actually just swimming through everybody's builds underneath them and like kind of just blocking off different sides while I get to the front side of zone. Once I get to the front side of zone, I'm able to just keep swimming ahead and making bases on the very, very front edge and then spraying back at everybody. I picked up a free kill by doing this, and then I just kept staying ahead. Eventually it ended up being a 1v1, and I just had to show up and do my best to win this fight. The way I outplayed him at the end was he was boxed up on edge's zone, the storm was pushing in his back, so I just set up a peek for when he edits out of his box to get into the safe zone, and he just walked into my shot. I do it right here, see, he walks right into my shot. But yeah, hopefully this video helps you high ping players out. I'll try to have a W key on high ping video coming soon. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, use code JivanTV in the item shop. I'll catch you in the next one.